Good morning, welcome back to the channel and hope you guys are okay and enjoying this super extreme heat in Europe right now, okay? I'm going to showcase to you why I train 3 times a week. Now, I think it's the perfect blend for most people. I've been training for a good while now. I lost about 45 kilos in a year and I tried many splits at the time and I've settled for a 3-day kind of full body A-B sort of split. Now, most of my exercises actually look very, very similar. I think a lot of people can get a lot from just doing repeatedly the same exercises. Now, another reason why 3-day works so well because of that, as a result of it, because if I've hit, for example, a belt squat, which I'm going to do today, in a couple of days time, 48 hours, when I hit it again, I'm more recovered. And if I was to basically beat myself up or train 4 or 5 times a week, I won't be able to push that kind of intensity that I need from that set or that I want from that set. More on that later, because I've got some stuff I need to show you. So it's going to be like a comparison of what I did last week versus now. Not the weights, that's not important, but the form overall. And I'll explain why that's so important as well to mainly record your sets. But it's morning now at the moment. We're kind of looking at 8:30. I'm going to train at 10 o'clock. And I have some morning oats. This is what I usually have pretty much every single morning. So what I also do is I've got this peanut butter. I literally bought like 7 jars of choco pasta from choco pasta Winkel. I can't pronounce it. That was from the Netherlands actually. I went there. Their peanut butter is bloody awesome. So I normally grab about 20 grams. That will do. It's a nice chunk and it's got some oil on there as well. That's from the peanut normally. That would be the topping. Obviously I am kind of in a gaining phase right now. More about that later as well. And then what that does for me is it just basically adds a layer of flavor. Bloody hell. Adds a little layer of flavor. Live taste test. Best thing in the world. Also, I do tend to finish at least, how many mils is this? I finished 2 of these bottles basically before I train, like at least an hour or 2 before, because obviously that's 750 mils. So I finished about 2 of these with some pink salt. Reason being, obviously, hydration is going to be the main thing. It's not going to be a food that will make you feel like you run out of energy. So yeah, I tend to try to stay super hydrated, and you want to do it before. If you start drinking water in the gym, that's not really you getting hydrated. It's just basically you feeling like a quench of thirst. I've noticed that over the years when I do train, if I have water an hour or 2 before, the amount of energy you have in there is endless, and then you'll feel depleted after because that's by design. But then you can come home and have your meal there and then. Okay, so I've put all my numbers in the app of what we're going to train. I always make sure I do that beforehand because you don't want to go in there and be like, how much did I do last week? How much? You just want to get to work basically. So that's all in. It's so hot. I literally sat in the car. I've got the aircon on now, but as soon as I got in the car, I was bloody sweating. It's so hot out here. I know if you're watching this from a non-European country, right? We're not in Europe anymore, but yeah, I mean, in this continent, right? The reason we complain so much is the humidity. It's so humid. So anyone in this hot country, the hot countries that are watching that are like 40 degrees, 50 degrees and laughing at us, have a trip, come down, take a look what we're going through. Okay, so job done. That was so difficult because of the heat, but I've made myself some chicken, a little bit of cheese sauce, it's a cheese spread, and some vegetables. Normally I'd have potatoes, but the appetite's completely shot, so I'm hoping later on I can have something else. But grab your meal, and after I've eaten this, we'll take a deep dive into the training plan. Okay, let's talk about the training session. I'm not gonna go into like, oh, that was a great session, felt fantastic. Let's give some value. All right, I'm trying to give value on this channel now. First things first, recording your sets, right, is super, super important. I honestly can't urge you to do this. Like, the reason I'm speaking about it now is because me personally, as you can see these videos, I'm going to post videos from last week of this exact same session and this week of this exact same session. So this is a second attempt at it, basically. Look at the belt squats. Look what I'm doing. I'm really leaning forward, and when the rep gets difficult, I'm kind of using my arms on the bar to kind of hurl myself up. And it does work for the glutes quite a bit, but if I'm trying to do the actual form for like a squat for your quads, not good enough. Now, if I didn't record myself here, okay, you can attest, right? If you're watching me for doing this for years and I didn't like sort of watch my form or check anything like that, I would have probably progressed. That's fair enough, but I wouldn't have grown the muscle that I want to grow. So I can't believe I see so many people online. I don't know if you're one of them, or when you see people on Instagram posts and everywhere saying, cameras should be banned, tripods, no, you shouldn't be doing this at all. Like, look how much value I've got from this just on the belt squat. RDL is just more of a case of doing more work on there, which will get stronger. Lat pullover, to me, right, in that time, first of all, look at what the belt is. The belt I put on is obviously a bit too high, I think, and my stomach is fully inflated. I look so fat. I'm not fat, okay? I look like that because I'm not breathing in from a diaphragm. I'm just breathing in as in just air, and I'm swollen. Do you know when you kind of build intra-abdominal pressure to actually, like when you do deadlifts and stuff? That's not what I'm doing, and I didn't know. And also, the bar needs to go fully down like I'm doing in this next video, in this week, basically. And I was doing it halfway through, and I felt like I was doing fine. I just had no clue. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe if I was paying a bit more attention, it'd be fine. It's not easy, because when you're on a new machine especially as well, like that's new for me, this Nautilus pullover. How many things do you take care of? Breathing, the belt, the adjustment, the arm, the grip, your stomach, the depth. What can you take care of overall? When you watch the video and you see it from a bird's eye view, like I've just done when I watched my video, I was like, okay, this I need to majorly take care of. Everything else naturally fell into place because I've been doing other exercises over time, and you kind of build like a bit of an understanding of what your kind of lifts will feel like, or what muscles engage where. So that was basically a huge eye-opener for me. And yeah, don't be so weight focused. I've been so weight focused, which is why the ego crept in, and you can see in the first week, maybe if I wasn't so obsessed about pushing the numbers without the form being corrected, I wouldn't have been, I may have progress sooner. Who knows? Time will tell. You're on the journey with me now, so watch me and we'll see how we can uncover that. But literally, when I did this set today, I only got, I think, 5 or 6 reps as opposed to 8, but it's on the same weight and my form is 10 times better. And that leads me into, right, the form broke down on the last rep. Now, I actively tried to fix the form and stay into the pain. So many people, and me as well in the past, you just deviate your form as soon as it starts getting a bit hard. The real muscle is probably built, right? It's actually built when the rep is difficult and you keep the form as close to what it's supposed to be as possible. And those will be the reps that actually put a lot of tension on the muscle. The right muscle, that's what we're after, right? Yeah, like I say, which leads me on to the fact that don't go all out all the time. If you're kind of like beginner-ish, intermediate as well, like me, chances are you need to be repeating your exercises quite often. Now, I do this RDL on the belt squat machine, and the belt squat itself, I do it 3 times a week. You'll see progression on this hopefully as well. Now, if I was to go all out, I have done on the belt squat. I've actually been pinned as well before. No one helped me. I had to kind of use because I'm quite flexible, thank God. I had to sort of rescue myself, but story for another day. Yeah, so what you want to do is, if you go all out, if I went all out today, for example, and I'm training again in 48 hours time, I'm not going to have the right output. And sometimes, you know, there's diminishing returns with everything. If you're going to train, let's say this close to failure, I would probably say 1 rep in reserve, 0 to 1 rep in reserve is perfect. And then if you do that one more where you completely kill yourself, and I'm watching this video, or you're watching this people online that you just, you know, seconds, like 30 seconds, like proper in the hole, pushing, maybe that won't be as much of value. Maybe that set specifically will, okay? But when can they revisit that again with a good amount of intensity? I guarantee you, it won't be the next day, it won't be the day after, maybe in a week's time. Now, if your program obviously doesn't involve you repeating a lot of exercises so often, then I can see where that can bring some value. But for me, I'm repeating these specific exercises 3 times a week, and it's better for me to be close to failure as possible, progress, move on, and hit that machine again. Also, it's such a big movement, the squat itself and the RDL. Going to failure, I don't know if there's a huge amount of value. Obviously, if the rep's there, you take it. But if you know you're going to be pinned in the next rep, or if your form's deviated so much that it's not even replicating the last 2 reps that you've just done, there's no real point. Having said that, thank you so much for joining me on episode 1 of my 6-month bulk journey. I'm going to name the journey something, which you'll see in the title. I've not done it yet. But yeah, it'll be a mix of training, food, everything. Today was more training focused. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.